opening up a can of worms. Like, you could go viral tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in
Soul Connect
to another episode of the Labor Lounge. We appreciate you. Labor Lounge, that's right, we can work it out. All that issue can't talk at work, we can talk about. Labor Lounge. I ain't gonna argue with ya, I'ma hit you with these facts so that you can get the picture. Hey.
We got a comment that says, please go back to the disco queens. They all promoted sex in their music. This didn't start with hip hop. I agree with that comment because
definitively, yeah.
I was gonna start when you finish. I was gonna talk about Madonna. I don't even know who the disco queens were, but Madonna was definitely promiscuous too. So no, it didn't even start in hip hop, and that's another thing. Like we're putting a hyper focus on hip hop. Hip hop didn't start promiscuity, right?
No.
We just took it and we made it popular because obviously that's what hip hop does. It takes things and it makes it popular. But there was definitely people in that pop genre. I mean, shoot, we can even talk about Prince. Like, look what Prince was doing, Bobby Brown. So we keep.
But R&B has a special pocket for love making.
It can't be.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, dog. Yo, R&B got a special pocket.
But it's a special pocket, but it's a special pocket, but it's still promiscuous. It's still promiscuous. Janet Jackson.
No, but no. Don't do that because and let's separate the two R&Bs, right? There's today's R&B and then there's R&B from before. Even if they might have gotten slightly raunchy in yesteryear's R&B still had that element of figurative talk. They're not saying bend that over, let that breathe, hands on your knees. Like, yo, you're not saying, like, you're not giving. Yo, you can't. It's just a bunch of instructions on sexual stuff, and there's no lyrics there. You know what I'm saying? So it becomes one of these. Like, yo, I'm not even gonna front. I'm gonna keep it OG with you. I think Sexy Red makes parody music that goes viral. You know, it's like this is the type of music that would be in a movie, a hip hop movie at a strip club. You know, like in the background, bend it over, let that breathe, hands on your knees.
They say this is the popcorn era of music, man. So it goes viral. It goes viral online, and that's it. It's like it has its moment in time, and then we move on. But I want to pull this article up because, like I said this has been going on forever and a day. So we're going to look at this article that goes back. It was written in 1997. We pull it up on screen here, and this was printed in the Washington Post. It was written by Holly Bass, February 26, 1997. So we're back into the 90s, approaching 2000s, right? As gangster rap continues to expand, staying 1 foot ahead of its detractors, the feminine side of this enduring subgenre has taken its own evolutionary course. Early 90s novelty groups like BWP, Bitches with Problems, and HWA, Hoes with Attitude, have fallen by the wayside, replaced by more polished acts. After a spate of cameo appearances on other people's track, newcomers Foxy Brown and Lil' Kim quickly blew up the charts with their respective debut albums, Il Nana and Hardcore. We remember both of those albums. Do you not? Both of them were bangers. I'm not gonna act like I wasn't listening to them. Blew up the charts with their respective debut albums. And in an industry defined by change, veteran rapper Yo-Yo displays staying power with her fourth release, Total Control. While each of these nasty girls has her own distinct style, what connects them is predilection for fictional crime escapades, a material girl mentality, and an unapologetic outspokenness about sex. So it says right here in this article, written in 1997, that this has been a conversation that has been happening. So for them to come out,
but it's very different, right?
How's it very different?
Because they put in there, right? Not only did they put a small glimpse, unapologetic outspokenness about sex. That's just a small little area, right? Granted, we haven't gone forward, right? But in this paragraph, you can see that they said what each of these nasty girls has her own distinct style. Or while each of these nasty girls has her own distinct style, what connects them is a predilection for fictional crime escapades, a material girl mentality, and an unapologetic outspokenness about sex. They're saying that these three elements kind of encompass the album, but the album wasn't just definitively boom about sex. I think that's the huge asterisk when it comes to talking about these ladies. Like you said, right? Here's my case in point. When you said Il Nana and Hardcore, you said, man, I ain't even going front, like I ain't heard about those albums. They were bangers. And I agreed with you, right? Because we knew those tracks were bar heavy and they were in rotation everywhere, and they had more than just the sex, right?
Okay.
Can you
So
say
here's
that
where
about Sexy Red? Like, hey, oh yeah, man, that I ain't even going front. That was a banger, dog.
So here's where the debate's gonna come in. See, and this is where you and I are gonna differ, right? I'm a Florida boy. You're a New Yorker, right? So with that being said, I listen to music differently. I'm gonna hear that beat because I'm not a bar heavy listener. I'm gonna listen to a beat and a catchy hook. And if you got those two elements for me, more than likely I'm gonna stay tuned with your track. I didn't really get into like that uptown lyricism stuff until I moved in with my cousin and he introduced me to other groups like D Block, Styles P, and all them people. I heard of them, but I wasn't listening to that because it was a different type of beat. I wanted to hear 808s. I wanted to hear trunks rattling, all that kind of good stuff. So if you had a decent beat and a catchy hook, I was going to listen to it. And these albums had those elements. So this is why I remember those albums. I can't sit up here and say I remember them being bar heavy. That's just that's not what would have made me gravitate towards that.
First and foremost, you need to put some respect on Florida name, because what you're not gonna do is make it seem like everybody from Florida just be listening to catchy hooks and 808s. Okay.